This is the Jeff Davis Show in Dallas, Texas at the Preparedness Expo. We're going to do a short interview with Hoppy Heidelberg, who was basically, Hoppy, if you'd fill us in, you were kind of a grand juror of the McVeigh trial.
Well, yeah, I was on the grand jury. I was seated on the grand jury in January '95, 4 months before the bombing. So it didn't start out being the bombing grand jury, but it ended up that way. So we were seated in January. We didn't become the dedicated bombing grand jury until May of '95. We delivered our indictments on August the 10th, '95. And then after I realized that there was not going to be an investigation of the bombing, I wrote a letter to the judge telling him what was going on. And he either had to answer my letter or kick me off the jury, and so he did.
Now, we had just run your video. Let me just get to the fine points of this. Basically, you're claiming, sir, that this whole jury process, this indicting process, was that you had requested certain people, certain
witnesses,
to be subpoenaed, maybe that might have a little alternative information other than what
explosives experts,
right,
seismologists, structural engineers, those kind of people.
And basically, you're claiming that the prosecution that was controlling who was being subpoenaed, what the information was going to be allowed. So basically, your contention is to sum it up is that the whole thing was a staged.
It was sham, yes. It was a sham. Worse than that, in my opinion, is obstruction. Now, if I hadn't made any requests, it would have just been a sham. But since I made the request and was turned down, it becomes obstruction of justice, in my opinion.
Do you have any predictions or analysis or whatever, the way you see how this thing might unfold ultimately?
The trial in Denver, I cannot predict what the conclusion will be, but it'll be whatever they need.
Well, who needs?
The people staging the trial, because it could be, for example, if they needed, right now, in my opinion, an acquittal would do more than a conviction, because there were certain. They pulled the teeth on some, and that when they passed the terrorist bill after the bombing, they didn't get everything they wanted. They canceled some of it out. Well, if they have an acquittal, they could go to the people and say, "See, we need all of that back." So I would think that an acquittal would do them more good than a conviction. But they take so many polls, I guess they'll just take polls, and whatever suits their purposes the best, the way it'll come out.
Do you have any concluding statements that you'd like to say that you think that, from your experience in dealing with this, what have you learned anything? Has it changed your life?
Well, it's changed my life, but I don't know that. Well, I guess I learned a little. You always like to think the best of everybody and everything, and it's very painful to discover that the justice system, any justice that comes from the justice system is purely accidental, I can assure you. And it got everything's choreographed. I mean, it's all professional harassment. It's just, that's what it's become. And it's our own fault. We've got the kind of government we deserve. We allow all this to go on. We can't complain. It's our fault. I mean, Benjamin Franklin told us when he came out of the convention, he said, "We've given you a republic if you can keep it." We haven't kept it.
Hoppy Heidelberg, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
All right. Hi, this is Hoppy Heidelberg. I want to welcome you to the Jeff Davis Show about the Oklahoma City bombing. And I want you to know that we are trying to investigate it and learn all that we can. And we're not satisfied that we know the truth yet. And we are doing everything we can, and I have formed a corporation called Oklahomans for the Truth, and we're going to hold public hearings. And I want you to watch the Jeff Davis Show, and I want to say hi to Joyce Isaacs on KVET. Thank you, Joyce, for having me on your show.